Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into something that is just, wow. It connects the super weird, mind-bending world of quantum physics with some really profound ancient wisdom. We're going to explore how these two fields, which seem worlds apart, are actually telling us the exact same incredible story about reality and our role in it. So let me just ask you this straight up. Is the world you see around you, is it really as solid and predictable as it feels? That chair you're on, the screen you're looking at, are they fixed, objective things? Or is there something way stranger, way more fluid, going on just beneath the surface? You know, a great way to think about this comes from our source material. Try to imagine reality not like a single static photograph that's already been taken. Instead, picture an infinite hall of mirrors. Every reflection is a possibility, shimmering, shifting, and changing based on where you stand and how you look. All right, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll look into the quantum mirror to see what modern physics has to say. Then, we'll pull out an ancient map of reality from Buddhist philosophy. After that, we'll learn how to use mindfulness as our quantum compass, talk about what it means to live in the flow, and finally, get to the really exciting part, how we can start co-creating our world. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, the quantum mirror. This is where science itself just completely shatters our comfortable illusion of a solid, predictable world. It reveals a universe that, at its very core, is deeply uncertain and, surprisingly, participatory. So what makes it so weird? Well, for starters, on the tiniest levels, particles exist in what's called superposition, which is a fancy way of saying they're in all possible places at the exact same time. Then there's entanglement, the spooky connection where two particles can be linked across the entire universe, instantly mirroring each other. But here's the real kicker, the observer effect. It means the simple act of measuring or even just looking at these particles forces them to pick one state. Yeah, you heard that right. Your attention literally helps shape what you see. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Let's move to section 2, an ancient map of reality. Because it turns out that these bizarre cutting-edge discoveries from science have these incredible echoes in ancient Buddhist philosophy. This is wisdom that, in its own way, saw all this coming thousands of years ago. First, we have the idea of Anicca, or impermanence. It's this core teaching that absolutely nothing is static. Everything is in a constant state of flux and change. Sound familiar? It's pretty much a perfect match for those constantly shifting quantum states we were just talking about, right? Next up, there's Anatta, or no self. Now, this is a wild idea. It basically says there's no fixed, separate you at the center of it all. Instead, you are more like a process, a dynamic web of relationships and conditions. It perfectly mirrors the quantum fact that particles don't really have a solid, independent existence either. They only exist in relation to other things. And finally, there's Sunyata, which often gets translated as emptiness. Now, emptiness sounds a bit bleak, but that's not what it means at all. It means that nothing exists all by itself. Everything arises from this infinite, tangled web of causes and conditions. It's a beautiful way of describing total interconnectedness. It's basically the philosophical cousin of quantum entanglement. And here is where it all just clicks into place. Look at this. The observer effect is a dead ringer for the idea that consciousness shapes reality. Quantum entanglement is the scientific twin of Sunyata's interconnectedness. The constant flux of the quantum world is Anicca. The relational existence of particles is Anatta. I mean, the parallels are just uncanny. The resonance between these two very different ways of understanding the world is, frankly, staggering. Okay, so if we're living in this fluid, shimmering sea of possibilities, how on earth do we navigate it? Well, section 3 gives us the key. It's mindfulness. Let's start thinking of it as our quantum compass. This is where the theory becomes a practical, usable tool. Let's put it this way. Mindfulness is your personal navigator for the multiverse. It's not a passive thing. It's the active skill that lets you consciously and skillfully engage with all those potential realities that are available to you in every single moment. So how does this navigator actually work? Well, for starters, it anchors your awareness, keeping you steady and present instead of lost in thought. It helps you cultivate equanimity so you can face whatever comes up with a sense of calm curiosity. And this is crucial. It empowers your intentionality, allowing you to consciously choose which path to take, which reality to step into. It helps you act with purpose even when everything feels uncertain. Okay, let's bring all this high-level cosmic stuff right down to Earth into our actual day-to-day lives. This is section 4, living in the flow. This is all about taking these huge ideas and turning them into simple, concrete practices. And you know what? This is way more accessible than it sounds. We're not talking about needing to go on a month-long silent retreat. It can start with just 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day, just focusing on your breath, can be enough to start tuning your awareness to these subtle, powerful shifts in perception. And here's a super simple practice you can try literally anytime. The next time you're about to make a choice, doesn't matter if it's big or small, just try this. 1. Notice you're at a choice point. 2. Just pause. Don't react on autopilot. 3. For just a second, try to feel that web of connections, the ripples your decision might create. And 4. Act, but with that awareness. That's it. It's a game changer. Now, when you start to see the world this way, something really profound happens. If everything and everyone is truly interconnected, like quantum physics and ancient wisdom suggest, then compassion stops being just a lofty, virtuous idea. It actually becomes the most logical, the most rational response to being alive. Harming someone else is, in a very real, tangible way, harming yourself. And this all leads us to our final and maybe most important section, co-creating your world. We're usually taught to be afraid of uncertainty, right? To control things, to have a plan. But what if that's all wrong? What if uncertainty isn't the enemy? What if, in fact, uncertainty is your superpower? It's the space where all your freedom and creativity live. So where do you find this incredible power to create? It's not in the past, and it's not in the future. There is only one access point, one single doorway through which all those possible worlds can become your reality. And that is the present moment, right now. This means you are not just a passive observer watching your life unfold like a movie. No way. You are a conscious participant. You are in the cosmic dance. And with every aware choice, every intention, you are actively co-creating the reality you experience, moment by moment by moment. So that whole mind-blowing idea of the multiverse, it's not some distant sci-fi concept. It's not out there somewhere in space. It is right here, unfolding with you, through you, with your very next breath. And that leaves us with one final, massive question to think about. If you're not just a passenger along for the ride, but an active co-creator in this incredible, unfolding dance, what reality will you choose to co-create? Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.